welcome back to the Private Practice Growth Club YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Tasneem Abrahams, and on this channel I share tips, tools and tutorials for health professionals in South Africa who are in private practice. So as of today, I'm recording this video, it's March 2022, which means it's that time of the year again where healthcare professionals registered with the Health Professions Council of South Africa are required by the end of this month to renew their annual registration in order to continue practicing. So as you know, if you are a healthcare professional watching this video, that you cannot practice without being registered with the HPCSA. But there's been quite a lot of questions, concerns, queries, some expressions of discontentment around the HPCSA. So I wanted to address that really briefly in this video. So there's three things I wanted to go over in this video. Firstly, there's been a lot of questions around what is the role of the HPCSA actually, with lots of people complaining that do the HPCSA even do anything for us? What are they doing for us? Why do we need to be paying all these fees? Where does all the money go to? So the first thing I want to address in this video is what is the role of the HPCSA? Why is it that we are required to pay this annual registration fee? And then secondly, there's been a lot of questions around, well, I'm not happy with the service. What do we do about it? How do we go about it? So I wanted to just go over briefly, what is your recourse if you are unhappy with the Health Professions Council to actually air your grievances? And then finally, lots of people have been asking since early in the year already, has the fees been released yet? How much are we supposed to be paying for our specific professional board? How do I view my invoice? Have the invoices even been sent out yet? I'd like to pay my fees. And the reason people are so anxious about wanting to know the fees early on in the year already and being able to pay is because understandably we've just come out of a traumatic time in the world globally because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's caused quite a lot of financial strain on lots of people the world over, and the health professionals are no exception to this. So understandably, we are all really anxious. We want to be able to budget accordingly, to be able to make sure that we can afford our annual registration fees, because as I said, you know, we're not allowed to practice without it. So it's quite an important expense to be able to account for. So I want to go over the HPCSA online portal, how you can log in, where you can view your statements, and how you can pay online. Now, I have previously done a more in-depth tour of the HPCSA online portal. It was more specifically related to how you can upload your CPD points. But as you probably know, they've changed that whole CPD audit process. We are no longer required to submit your own CPD points. But if you are still interested in that video, the link to that video should appear somewhere up here above. And you can go and check out that more in-depth tour. But for now, I want to address the first point, which is what is actually the role of the HPCSA for healthcare. So right now I'm on the HPCSA website, hpcsa.co.za, and we're going to navigate over here to the About Us page. So as you can see here in the About Us page, it says that the HPCSA, together with the 12 professional boards under its ambit, is established to provide for control over the education, training, and registration for practicing of health professions registered under the Health Professions Act. Now, what is the role of the HPCSA? The role is to protect the public and guide the professions. The Council's job is to make sure that practitioners uphold and maintain professional and ethical standards within the health professions and ensure the investigation of complaints concerning practitioners, and to ensure that disciplinary action is taken against persons who act to fail accordingly. So clearly it states here that the Health Professions Council of South Africa is not there to represent us personally as individual practitioners. It's not there to protect us, to provide us with any service. The key role of the HPCSA is to protect the public and to protect our reputation, our profession's reputation, by ensuring that they have professional and ethical standards to help guide us as individuals, and that if there are health professionals who are overstepping the mark, who are behaving in an unethical manner, that they are brought to book. So clearly, lots of people have been complaining, saying, do the HPCSA do anything for us? What is their role? Why do I need to be paying so much money? So clearly, the HPCSA is not there for you. That is what your professional body is there for. So myself, for example, as an occupational therapist, I, in addition to HPCSA annual registration fee at the end of this month, also have to pay my Occupational Therapy Association of South Africa fee, completely voluntary. Unlike the HPCSA, it's not mandated for me to actually belong to my association, but I budget to be able to belong to my association because it is my association that actually represents my profession, that advocates for me and my profession. To the HPCSA, as well as to medical schemes and so on and so forth. So as a healthcare professional, if you are one of the 12 boards that is under the HPCSA, the reason why you cannot practice without this license is because it is a statutory body that is mandated under the Health Professions Act of 1974. This is a statutory body that governs all our activities, and it clearly defines the scope of each of our professions, which we then have to make sure that we do not overstep, we do not practice outside of our scope, and that we are practicing ethically. So the HPCSA reports directly to the Minister of Health, and that is why we have to pay these fees. So now the question remains is, well, okay, sure, we have to pay these fees, but the problem is that as we read there, they're supposed to be guiding our professions and making sure that we have our certificates, that we are registered health professionals. So a lot of the questions, the concerns, or the complaints that have been going around has also been around the poor administrative function of the HPCSA, where people have been complaining that the communication from the body is really poor. It's really difficult to get through, to speak to anyone. Your emails don't get responded to in a timeliest fashion. There have been many complaints of community service health professionals who are struggling to get their certificates once they've completed community service. And these are all things that actually holds up the economic activity of health professionals, because if you are unable to get your certificate, there have been many health professionals who have complained that they have applied for a job, they've been accepted, and they need to show the certificate to show that they've actually completed the community service, and the HPC has not been very timeous in getting back to people around that. Even simple things like changing of surnames, of double billing, of not refunding people, those are some of the questions and concerns that have come up in social media. So how do you actually then air your grievances? As I've mentioned before, one of the ways is to actually belong to your professional body, whether that's the OT Association of South Africa, the Physio Association, your Speech and Language Therapy Association, the SA Medical Association, because they are the ones that actually represent you as a profession, and to air your grievances through those channels. The other option that you have is to actually lay a complaint or to express your concerns via the ombudsman of the HPCSA. So if you go to the contact page, you will see there you've got the ombudsman, which is complaints@hpcsa.co.za. That is one place that you can also air your grievances if you are unhappy with the administration. And then also to make sure that you register on the portal so that you are on the email list to receive emails on when there are particular road shows. So for example, at the time of recording this video, there is a road show coming up on the 23rd of March for occupational therapy boards specifically. And although it is a CPD event, there is time at the end for questions and answer, and that is really an ideal place to lay complaints or to air your grievances if you are not happy with the administrative functions of the HPCSA. So now that we've dealt with the role of the HPCSA and how do you complain if you're unhappy with the way that the HPCSA is administering the organization and its functions, let's talk about the fees. So how do you actually know what your fees are for this year? Where do you go about paying your fees? let's have a look at that for a moment. So if you go back to the home page, and I must admit, I've said this in my previous video that the website is not very intuitive. You have to go to the homepage and then scroll past this really, the banner, which is really a useless banner, and go to online services. And when you go to online services, it will take you this page, which is a completely different website, hpcsaonline.custhelp.com. You could just go straight there, and you're going to go to log in or sign up. Once you log in or sign up, you will you should, if you've registered, if you've not registered, you need to create an account. So once again, if you don't have an account yet for the online portal, do go and have a look at the previous video I did that takes you through the whole process of how to create an account. But once you have created an account, you should be able to log in with your ID number and your password, which is what I'm going to do now quickly. Then you should have this challenge to make sure that you are not a spam bot. And this will then take you to the online portal. Once you are here, you then go either onto this tab that says Account Overview, or you can click on your name where it says Account Overview. You're going to click on that, and it's going to take you to this page where you've got this whole menu on the side here. And what you're going to do is, if you want to view previous invoices of what you've paid, but if you want to actually just see what is it that you need to pay now currently, you want to go to account statement. Once you click on that, it will give you the statement date, your registration number, your file number, and it will list all your previous payments and your latest payment. My invoice from the 15th of Feb 2022, due on the 31st of March 2022, and the OT fees for this year is 1741. And down at the bottom, you scroll, you should be able to take you to a button that says Pay Now. Once you click on this button, it will give you the option to pay, where you can actually pay online. So it gives you the option to pay online, straight online, and if you pay online, you will automatically be re-registered. So I'm going to do fill in my detail. I'm going to pause my video, fill in my details quickly, and make my payment, and then show you what happens after that. Okay, so I've just completed the process of doing my online payment, and it takes me to a confirmation that says, thank you for payment. System has updated your details. You will get an email confirmation shortly. And as we speak, I'm getting my phone is vibrating over here because the email has come through confirming my payment. And now if I go to my, I can now then go straight to my practitioner card, which, as we know, the practitioner cards are now virtual with a QR code, and I can then download my card, email it to my employee if that's what I want, and then download it and keep it on my computer. And if I then go to my account, back to account overview, and go to my account statement, I should now be able to see that my account is fully paid up. I have no more payments due, and my registration is now going to be valid until 2023. So I hope that helps those of you who are struggling. I know that some people don't want to, or don't like, or can't make payments online. Unfortunately, that seems to be the only way that you can pay right now. If there are bank details that I don't know about, please do let me know in the comments. But if you go over to the FAQ section over here, you will find where it says payments. You will see that it does say on this page that Council urges practitioners to use the online portal to pay their fee. It says that they launched the portal in 2017, and I know that there have been people who have complained that the online payment didn't go through, it wasn't working, and that might be bank specific. I'm not sure, but it does say here that should you encounter challenges using the portal, to please contact the call center or email them a screenshot of the error message on info@hpcsa.co.za. Ironically, this is one of the problems that people are complaining about, that calling the call center or emailing info@ is where the problems lie, where it's almost impossible to get through to someone, and people don't reply when you email the info@ email. But so essentially, if you are struggling with paying online, I would suggest you try and make an arrangement, whether it's that you give the money to somebody or ask somebody to pay on your behalf. But really, if you're a private practice health professional, you should have the ability to pay with things online, right? So, and this is the way that the world is going. It's also a lot quicker, a lot more effective, and you immediately get option, as you saw in when I completed my payment, to access your card. So I think a lot of the problems that have been happening has been where payments have been deducted from public service salaries, or where people are paying via EFT and then the payments aren't being picked up and it's not being loaded correctly onto the online portal. So really, it is so much more efficient if you can pay online, because you won't have that problem of requesting your practitioner's card. So I really do hope that helps. I know that's not really the answer that most people want to listen to, but I really do hope that this video helps, even in a small way. And do let me know if the video has helped. Also, don't forget to like the video, to subscribe to this channel, and once you subscribe, the little bell should appear where you can actually hit the bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. There's going to be lots more videos and content coming out this year in 2022, which I think will really help a lot of people on their private practice journey. So do also share to those of your friends or colleagues who you feel might benefit from the Private Practice Growth Club channel. Till next time, bye-bye.